Okay, hello everybody. Let me just pour myself a nice glass of Tam Sarsu. Where's this from? Jeju water. I've just been for a run, so replenishing myself, as they say. One moment, guys. Cheers. Obviously, you probably expect me to have a Qingdao or something in hand, but no, it's just the water today. Oh, that's lovely. Anyway, I digress. Hello everyone, welcome again to another video on my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit, I say different, it's always different, these videos. I'm going to talk about away games. Thank you. I'm going to talk about away games. I'm a Manchester United fan, I'm a Sol Illan fan, you know that. I've been to Manchester United away games in England, and I've been in Europe. I've been to Sol Illan games all over Korea. I've even been to Jeju to watch them play. Now, I know when you go on the away day, the most essential things are your Adidas Gazelles, your scarf, and 20 tins of Stella, or Qingdao in my case. I know that, I get that, that's what I do. However, I want to talk about things which you might not really have thought about the first time around, and you might go, oh, that's a good idea, or, oh yeah, of course, what a stupid thing to say, I know that anyway. However, some people might slightly miss it out, and this might be aimed more at Korea than the UK. But I thought it might be a good time to say it now that, you know, the UK's opened the stadiums again so fans can go all around the country following their team. I thought now was a good time. Anyway, let's get into it. A lot of things I'm going to be talking about is, as I said, aimed at Korea, but you could adapt it to the UK about what they do, what you can do in the UK. So the first thing I do is I download apps onto my phone apps that I need, which will get me by whilst I'm away. These are Skyscanner for flights. These are the KTX app for your train. This is the bus app for your bus. Also, I download hotels.com. I know there's a lot of competition these days. There's a lot of different apps for hotel booking. I like to use hotels.com because they have the 10 nights and get 1 night free. I like that, especially before pre-COVID, when you were staying in hotels almost every other weekend. It adds up quick. So to get 1 free night is quite a blessing. Your first thing you need to do, you need to weigh up your options. What is the best way to get to that stadium? Is it the plane, is it the train, or is it by bus? Now, it's all well and good going bus, it's the cheapest one. However, if that's going to be a 9-hour round trip for you on a Sunday, after you've probably been on the beer on the Saturday, is that a good idea for you? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. You've got to weigh what's best for you. Another thing, is it good to go and get a flight which 3 times the price of every other mode of transportation, and it's still an hour and a half away from the stadium? There's things like this where you can't just think about, okay, we're playing this city, let's go to this city. You've got to plan where the stadium is, because the closest mode of transportation might be the best. Now, once you've weighed up how you're going to get there, you need to think about how long are you going to be there? Are you doing it on one day, or are you staying overnight? Personally, whenever I have an opportunity, when the game's early on a Sunday or when it's in the Saturday afternoon, I like to stay over. I like to stay in the city, just get a bit of a vibe of the area, try maybe some local food, i.e. get smashed. But it's up to you what you like to do. For me, I like to stay overnight because I like to have a couple of beers in the evening and then wake up and watch the game, or we've watched the game and had a few beers afterwards. Some people might not like travelling and just want to get to the game and get home. Think about what's best for you. One thing I will say is, say if your team's playing the other side of the country at 5 p.m. and you get yourself a 7 a.m. bus there, you've watched the game and then you get yourself a 9 p.m. bus back. Are you going to be still in tip-top condition by the time that game kicks off? And will you still be in tip-top condition by the time of the full-time whistle? Sometimes it might be better for you to actually go and book a hotel so you're actually still full and raring to go for your away game. Now, this also leads on to having a plan B when you're at this stadium or at this away game. Think about things that might go wrong. And I know this from experience because I've had things go wrong on me and away games. Example, I booked an away game down to Busan. I booked flights because the flights were the cheapest. Not cheaper than a bus, but obviously more, it was quicker. It was only an hour flight compared to 6 hours on a bus? Please. So, I book the flights. On the way there, no problem at all. Smooth. Well, not smooth. If anyone who lives in Busan or flown to Busan, you know that the descent to the airport is not very nice. However, got there in one piece. Watched the game on the Sunday. Had the Monday off, so Tuesday was the first day back into work. Monday, about 3 o'clock, I get a text message on my phone. Your flight for 3 hours has been cancelled. Shit. So I had to rush to Busan station, and I was lucky because I got myself a KTX train home. However, the line was getting longer and longer and longer because people must have been getting this text message and doing what I did and ran to the station. So, have a plan B. If your first mode of transportation goes wrong, do you have another mode of transportation? If you have a hotel booked, make sure you have another hotel booked. Especially when you go out of Seoul, things can happen which are out of your control. The hotel, you might turn up when it's closed. The hotel might go, oh, you can't come in here, I can't find your booking. Things like this have happened and do happen, so please be careful. Make sure you have a plan B. Also, check the distance of the stadium to where you're getting off your mode of transportation. Kind of touched on this a little bit before. There's no point booking the cheapest transportation if it's still 2 hours away by public transportation or a $30 cab. The way I like to deal with it is, if I'm getting a late Sunday night game, and I have to go back on that day, I will make sure that I can physically walk from the bus stop or the train stop to the stadium in time. Okay, so I mean that, say if the game ends at 9 and the last train is at 10, if I cannot physically walk that in that hour, I will try and look for another mode of transportation, because you can't rely on taxis or public transportation, especially outside of Seoul. You've got to literally think, I have to walk this place, okay? Okay, so we've talked a little bit about preparing. It's gone on longer than I already thought, so I'll be quicker now. You're on your way day. You're getting ready, you're walking out the door. Make sure, either in the plane station, airport, or the train station, or the bus depot, you're having breakfast, or in your apartment. You might go, oh, it's the away day, beer is for breakfast, beer is for breakfast. Make sure you eat, because I know this from experience. Make sure you eat, because you could be on the 8 a.m. KTX train down to an away game. You could miss out on breakfast, have a can of beer, have another can of beer. Next you know, you're 5 cans of beer in, and you are trolleyed before you've even got off the train. And that is because you've not had breakfast and you're not ready to you're not geared up for the game. You're too geared up for the game as such, you're not eating your breakfast. Make sure you have some food in you before you go. Next thing, water. Always make sure you have water on you. It sounds like a silly thing and a simple thing, but just make sure you're constantly dehydrating yourself, hydrating yourself throughout the day. It sounds stupid, but once you're knocking the cans into you, you might not realise it, and it is quite important. Korea can get to 38, 39, 40 degrees during the summer. There's nothing worse than necking cans of beer after beer after beer, and you've not drank any water in the last 4 or 5 hours. You're going to have a banging headache. You're going to have heat stroke. And trust me, I've had heat stroke here, not because of that, because I have well hydrated myself at the football. All I'm saying is just make sure you're constantly drinking water throughout the day. It's not cheating. You keep yourself hydrated. You keep yourself in good tick. So hydrate yourself during the day. That's important. Next thing, for me, this is the most important thing. You need to have a power bank. Now, before people go, oh, I've got the latest iPhone, I've got the latest Samsung phone, it lasts 4 or 5 days, it lasts 4 or 5 days. Great, congratulations. However, the variables to make that phone run for that length of time is not the same variables on an away game. You might be on transportation for a long time. That transportation might be hot. What do you do when you're on a transportation, you're bored? You listen to music. You watch videos. You have to factor in that you're watching a lot of videos, you're listening to a lot of music on your phone, the cabin is hot, which also drains battery more, and your precious phone that lasts 4 or 5 days has drank half your battery in a space of a couple of hours. So please bring a power bank. There's nothing worse than having a dead phone on an away day. Now, pre-COVID, this is fine. You have a paper ticket, don't need a phone, got me paper ticket. These days, you need your phone to check in QR code, restaurant, stadium. You're not getting in without a QR code. You are, but it's a bit problematic. Even in some places outside of Seoul, you don't need a QR code. You need to physically phone up a number to check in. Also, mobile tickets. You need a mobile ticket to get into the stadium. I have seen people who have printed off ticket numbers and give it to the ticket box and they've got a ticket. But who's doing that in this day of age? Mobile tickets are the way forward. So please make sure you bring a power bank and you're fully charged. I've had it that I've gone on away games and I've stayed over on the Saturday night and I've got absolutely hammered the night before. I've woken up and my phone's on 10% charge and the game's in like an hour and a half. My power bank has saved my life there. So make sure you bring a power bank. Next. This is from experience. Bring tissue with you wherever you go. Just a small pack of tissues. Just make sure you have a small pack of tissues on your persons. There is nothing worse than going to the bathroom in a stadium, or going to the bathroom in a bar, or going to a bathroom anywhere, and there is no tissue there. This happens in Seoul. This goes for everything. This is not even away days. I personally do this everywhere I go now. Sometimes the restaurant or the bar you're in has the tissue paper there, and you have to ask them. Now, if you're loading yourself with alcohol, you might forget to do that, like I did. And I had to gingerly ask my friends to bring tissue paper to the bathroom. Don't let this happen to you. Bring toilet paper with you. Not even toilet paper, just bring tissue paper with you. Always have a plan B. Plan B should be the theme of this video. And lastly, the last thing I wanted to say is always bring cash with you. It's $20. E-man won, 20,000 won. 20 quid in the UK, well it's about 14 quid, but 20 quid as such. Just bring something with you. There's nothing worse than getting to a stadium which is a little bit in the middle of nowhere and there's no convenience store around, so you are looking for a place that sells beer. There's a small little old man there selling cans of beer for you. He doesn't have a card machine. Look, Korea is a card country. Card. However, you can go to these stores outside of Korea, outside of Seoul, and outside of the big cities. They might not have a card machine. They should, but they might not have a card machine. Especially if there's outdoor vendors. They won't have a card machine. So just make sure you bring some cash with you and you're full prepared. There's nothing worse than wanting a beer and you're not being able to get one. So, there are all the things that I've slightly touched on. Guys, for people who travel to many away games every weekend, this is probably... everything I've said, you've probably go, yeah. Part of the tissue thing, you probably thought it's a bit weird, but yeah. But anyway, I hope that's helped some people who are now going on away games finally again, or maybe thinking about coming to Korea and doing away games whilst they come here. But anyway, if you like the video, give it a like, give it a subscribe. One person keeps disliking all my videos. You do you, but whatever. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll talk to you again soon.